Awesome. Thank you so much. I couldn't have done this without you. Thank you. I really could not have. Thank you so much, Dawn, for making the day of our dreams a reality.
Hey y'all, it's your girl InnerBeautyExplores. Thanks for being here, and make sure you like and subscribe for all the good stuff. So today we are talking about destination weddings. So I'm going to share 5 tips that I think you might want to know when planning your destination wedding, vow renewal, birthday party, whatever it may be. So first, today let's talk about budgets. I know it's a nasty word, but it's so important. It's important for you and your partner, or whether it's you footing the bill yourself or your parents. It's important to be aligned with the budget, because if you're not, you're going to have issues down the line. So it's important early on to start out setting a realistic budget, and then maybe setting a little something aside that's not part of that budget, because things always come up. So depending on where you're traveling to for this destination extravaganza, you want to make sure that everyone involved with the finances is in line with the budget. Get it down on paper. It doesn't matter if it's a pizza scratch paper, just get it down on paper and start from there. It's so important. And there's so many things that are going to come up. There's so many tools out there to help you stay on track with your budget. And most reputable venues will also be able to send you a wedding planner tracker so that you can track what you're spending at their venue. All right, number 2. Let's get into local marriage requirements. Now, a lot of places have marriage requirements, even in the United States. So if you're having a destination wedding within the U.S., you want to check that state. Find out what you need to do to get your marriage license, because that's what's key. You want to make sure it's legal. Now, if it's a vow renewal or just a birthday party, you're okay. But if you are getting married in the U.S. or out of the U.S., especially out of the United States, you want to research what those local marriage requirements are. Some of them require you to be what they call a resident, where you have to be in that country for a certain amount of days prior to your ceremony, or a certain amount of days prior to getting your license in order to have your ceremony in that location. So it's extremely important to do your research and look into local, your travel tourism boards there locally. They will help you. And if you're working with a hotel or a venue, they will definitely let you know, because they don't want to lose out on getting that money. So make sure that you are checking for those local marriage requirements. Some of them even require blood samples. I know. But yeah, make sure that you're checking, because you don't want any last minute surprises. You can't just show up in a lot of places and expect to get married like that. All right, let's talk number 3, location accessibility. Now, wherever you're having your ceremony, your extravaganza, you want to make sure you're thinking about how you and your guest are going to get there. Is it somewhere that you have to fly into? Is there somewhere that you can't drive to if you're in the U.S.? Is it only accessible by ferry? Like, there are some amazing islands in the Caribbean, but you can't fly into them. So you would have to fly into a neighboring island and then have people ferried over. So those are things you want to consider when you're thinking about having a destination wedding. Ease of transportation. How far is it from an airport? And a lot of times, if it's a smaller airport, that means there's going to be higher costs associated with flying into a smaller airport. Are there going to be smaller planes? Are you going to have a problem with being on a smaller plane? Because it's one thing to be on one of those really big fancy planes, but then when you're going to a smaller island, you may have to deal with something that may be like a 20-seater. And that's a whole different experience. So make sure you're thinking about those things. Do you have any people that are in your party that are handicapped or need additional assistance? You need to be able to consider those things when thinking about the location for your event. All right, let's get into number 4. Now we're talking about venue options. Now, depending on your destination will determine how many venue options you have. So consider factors like the size of your party, amenities, what type of ambiance you're going for. Are you trying to have a beach event? Do you want to be somewhere that's historic? Do you want to be like in an old mansion? Are you trying to be like in a vineyard? It really just depends on what type of event you're going for and the location of that event, because you may have fewer options if you have somewhere that is more remote. You may say, I want to get married in a rainforest. That sounds wonderful. But when you're looking at where and venue options and all the things that go into putting together a wedding or event, will you have everything you need for a rainforest extravaganza? I mean, if you can, I'm all for it because I love an extravaganza. To me, it can be an event for 2 or 2,000. It's an extravaganza. So make sure you're keeping these things in mind when you're trying to determine where specifically you want to have your wedding. And say you want to have it on the beach in Florida. A lot of beaches require you having a permit. So it's not just as easy as saying, hey, show up at this beach at this time. So make sure you're doing your research on your venue options. All right, let's get into number 5, and that is weather and season. And trust me, I know all about this. I got married in Cancun while I had my remix, which was what we called our vow renewal. And as soon as I stepped foot on that sand in my dress, the rain started to fall. This is all you heard. It's a little ASMR for you. The rain started coming down. I mean, it was a little sunny, but then it was rainy, and I have all my guests looking amazing. And yeah, and I got married in February. So it's never guaranteed that it's going to be perfect. However, you want to make sure you research. Try not to go during hurricane season, even though you'll probably get discounts because they know less people want to travel to certain destinations during hurricane season. So you got to be really strategic and make sure if you are picking something that is, say, a beach wedding during hurricane season, they have a backup location. That's all I'm saying. So make sure that you're thinking about the season, and it could be in the U.S. You may want a winter wonderland wedding, right? For Colorado, let's say that. Beautiful Colorado. Don't go in the summer. You know, you got to think about what you're picturing in your mind. What do you want to see? And then start researching what the weather will be for that location. And cross your fingers. So those were just 5. But there's so many more that I want to share with you. So make sure you like, comment, and hit that subscribe button so you can learn more. I've got so much to share with you. Bye.